Nvidia moved $100 billion into OpenAI, and 6 weeks later, a massive AI sell-off wiped 6% off the average AI-heavy index fund. The real crack runs through how the same money keeps cycling through the same small group of companies. By the end, you'll know exactly which part of that circle just broke and why it hit your savings first. Here's what nobody tracked. The dollar Nvidia sends out comes straight back to Nvidia. Both companies spend it on Nvidia's GB200 chips, the very hardware Nvidia seeded OpenAI to need. There's a catch. Nobody priced in. This wheel only spins while fresh capital keeps entering, and that assumption just got shaky. April 28, 2026, OpenAI's own finance chief stood up and told the company it couldn't afford the compute it had already ordered. That warning escaped the building within hours. AMD shed about 6%, ARM nearly 8%, Broadcom close to 5%, and every AI-heavy index felt every tick. The circle needed one thing: for users to multiply faster than the electricity bills, and April 28th showed that wasn't happening. Index funds dropped 6%, not because hundreds of stocks failed, but because 5 of them were the whole thing. Both trends describe the same tower. A handful of companies bear the entire index's weight, priced at .com levels. Every retirement account is now betting those 5 grow into their 40 times price tag, and the revenues behind that bet haven't arrived yet. OpenAI alone has committed to spend roughly 100 times its current annual earnings every year for 8 years running. Anthropic, the next biggest lab, is on the same curve. That ratio is what the circle has been masking. The 8-year tab is $1.4 trillion. Annual revenue is roughly $13 billion today, a reservoir the size of a thimble built to fill a dam. But covering all of that isn't magic, and what's been assembled to fund the gap is the part most analysts never looked at. Below everything visible, the charts, the headlines, sits a debt layer most analysts never priced. Private credit, not stock markets, not banks, is expected to cover over $1 trillion of this build-out. Whether this burns down the whole structure or just scorches the weakest players, that answer changes everything. The year 2000 analogy gets one thing completely backwards. Pets.com had zero revenue. That is not the situation at Amazon or Google. The fire burns where the debt actually is. OpenAI projected to lose about $74 billion in 2028. Anthropic on the same burn curve, only earlier in the gap, and neoclouds leaning on a single big customer. 5 tripwires tell which players are rooted and which only look stable. Here they are. 1. OpenAI's weekly users and revenue. 2. Hyperscaler CapEx guidance cuts. 3. The Nvidia OpenAI 10 gigawatt deal. 4. Private credit stress in AI infrastructure. 5. Neocloud defaults. When these wobble together, the circle is breaking. Send this to anyone still arguing AI is either a scam or a sure thing. The real story is messier, and it's already underway. Subscribe to Marker and Mind. We explain the story behind the headline.